and thank you for joining me on the show today. This is the Now Talks, a collection of inspiring personal stories and leadership lessons from some of the world's most iconic leaders. It is the weekly podcast for women in leadership, brought to you by Nations of Women. My name is Dr. Tina Allton, and I'm your host for today and the coming weeks. Hello and welcome again, my beautiful, beautiful friends. How have you been? I hope the week has been great. Last week, we were talking about who you are matters. And I want to ask you a question. Are there people in your life that you trust implicitly? Do you have people you can turn to for advice, for support, or maybe even a reality check? Do you have somebody who's been there, done that, and has invaluable advice? Do you have somebody who's cheering you on, always in your corner? Never mind, the devil's advocate, the person who challenges you to think differently. Do you have those people in your life? Now that's a thought. Well, welcome to this week's podcast, and I want us to talk about the power of your inner circle, right? Your inner circle defines you. Your inner circle defines you. Have you heard about the quote or the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Well, let's unpack that. The truth is, your inner circle absolutely defines you. As a leader, I was reading this in John C. Maxwell's book, and he talks about the fact that a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. Wow. So you can look at a leader, look at who's the closest to them, and you can determine their potential. I think that's very true. I think for many of us, we've seen leaders, looked at who's around them, and made our own decisions on that. So what do we mean by, or what do I mean by inner circle? Let's look at the basics of that, the 101 basics of your inner circle. Like I shared at the beginning, these are the people that you trust implicitly. There is somebody or a group of people that you can turn to for advice, for support, reality check. It might be a mentor, somebody who's been there, done that, got the t-shirt for it. Somebody you can get to for advice, somebody who gets you, right? Or who, even if they don't get you, they actually challenge you to think differently. Somebody that when you're with, you don't feel small. You don't have to be small in order for them to feel good or for you to feel like you are, you belong at the table, right? Your inner circle should be those people that you feel big, you feel excited, you feel great for being with them, right? They don't diminish or quench your fire. Now, these people, your inner circle, actually has a huge impact on you as your potential. Like I said, a leader's potential is determined by who's in the inner circle. So your inner circle can be maybe even your emotional backbone. They can lift you up when you're down, and they can also keep you grounded equally. I know, not so long ago, we lost my mother-in-law suddenly, unexpectedly, and my inner circle carried me because that was a real stuff about life that nothing can ever prepare you for, right? And they kept me uplifted. The right circle can boost your self-esteem, your self-confidence. They can help you to grow as a person. And they to put it this way, I once had a friend who said that changing her inner circle was like the therapy that she needed, but without the copay. Now, copay is something much more predominantly in America where, you pay part of, like your insurance policy will pay part of it and you pay part of it as well. So for her, changing her inner circle was like the therapy she needed, except this time She didn't have to, you know, she paid for the full lot, right? She had to pay the whole lot. It was a big price to pay. But in the end, it made the biggest difference to her life, right? And the impact on your personal or professional life. In your professional life, your inner circle truly can be like your secret weapon. They can introduce you to new opportunities, offer industry insights. They can even become business partners. Your inner circle can be an absolute gold mine for economic empowerment. Networking isn't just like, and your inner circle isn't like your network buddies. That is your pathway to opportunities for your life, right? So how do you curate an inner circle? How do you curate actually an inner circle? How do you do that, right? When you see somebody who is successful, perhaps sometimes we're allured to the thought or the fact that, you know what, they did it by themselves. But the truth is, no one ever is self-made. No one is an island. You can't really make it all by yourself. You need people. Now think of it, even as a baby, you needed a midwife who had no investment whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. Do you know your midwife? No. But your midwife gave you every opportunity, every chance, did everything they could for you because they believed you deserved a shot at life. Right. So we all need somebody. We all had to get help, right, in order to get here. And again, is the same for you as a leader. You cannot get there all by yourself. You need people. You can't ride all by yourself. You can't get there by yourself. You're not an island. You need people. And the key thing is being mindful of who you are drawing into your inner circle, right? Do they have the right influence with other people? Are they actually people that influence you in a good way, in a positive way? Whether it's in the way you view yourself, your own self, view or self perspective, do they uphold a positive image of who you are? Do they affect or influence others equally in a positive way? Now, if there's people in your inner circle and not influence you in a positive way, they're not going to be influencing other people in a positive way either. And so you want to think about this. One of the keys to being successful in your leadership is your ability to influence people who are also influencing others. And so you want to think about, you want to look at who you draw into your inner circle. Are they influencing other people as well as you? Do they bring a complementary gift to the table, right? The thing is, you are who you attract. So if you're only attracting people who are not really going anywhere, then you've got to check yourself first. So you draw to your inner circle those who bring something of value, not just those who would just come and squander and just, take. You want people who bring value to the table. Do they hold a strategic position maybe? Can they help you in where you're going, right? You want to have people that can help you in where you're going. They can be strategic when you need them to. And do they add value to you? Do they add value to your leadership? Do they add value to those that you're called to be, to serve? That's the question, right? And it's lonely. It's always lonely at the top. You always want to have people around you that help you to be the best of who you are. And so you want to identify who are these people. You want to cultivate relationships with them. And then you want to draw them into your inner circle. And this is not immediately you meet somebody and it's done. It takes time. It takes building relationship, building trust, right? On both sides, their character, their values, are they in alignment with who you are, right? All of those things are very, very important. And again, have diverse people. They don't all have to be you, right? Because if all you have is you, then you don't have a different means of measuring. Like if you are the only thing you have to measure yourself by, you're really not measuring anything. So you want people who challenge you, people who uplift you, but most importantly, those who want to see you succeed, not those that would, like maybe they're intimidated by your growth or intimidated by your vision, intimidated by who you are, right? You might be large, not in size, but in your spirit, in who you are, right? Do they stifle the environment? You want people that really truly want you to succeed, not people who would be yes, 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 but those that really challenge your thinking, help you to take another look, a critical look. And when you have people like that, it's incredibly enriching. It can be so eye-opening in your conversations, unexpected opportunities. I mean, it's endless, right? So always think about that, the more diverse your inner circle is, the stronger you would be, and the stronger I would say the shoulders of those you'd get to stand on. So audit, adjust, and pivot, right? Audit your inner circle, adjust if you have to, and pivot if that is what is required. And pivoting sometimes can be the best thing that you can actually do, right? So the question is, do you know who your inner circle people are? Who are they? Right? They don't come by accident. You have to develop relationships. You want to spend time with them. You want to build trust with them, build relationship with them. Examine your inner circle members, determine who they are. Do they uplift you? Do they cheer you? Do they want the best for you? Right? And then think that way. Now, your inner circle, what it isn't it's let's set this and forget this. It's far from that, right? It's absolutely relationships for life sometimes, or it's definitely relationships that needs to be maintained. You want to have regular check-ins. These are very crucial. You want to be able to receive constructive criticism from them, and it's a two-way street, you as well to them. Remember, your inner circle isn't just there for you, but you're there as well to pour into, to add value to. And sometimes you may just sometimes have to cut ties, and that's okay too. The key to that is to do respectfully and honestly, right? Be honest. I always believe in being honest, being upfront, be respectful. If you have to cut ties, it's fine. It's part of life, right? But exit gracefully. Sometimes it's not always possible. Perhaps, circumstances or life happens. But if life happens, then your inner circle should be able to give you that space to perhaps get through whatever challenges or season you're going through, to recover, to get back on your feet, and then review perhaps what that gap was and anything else that needs to be bridged, right? So to wrap up, your inner circle is like your own life board. Choose wisely, maintain the relationships, pour into it, check in. Don't be afraid to make decisions. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to adjust. Don't be afraid to measure. Don't be afraid to evaluate. Because sometimes that would actually be what sets you free. Your inner circle really will define you. And the more diverse your inner circle, the stronger you are. Your inner circle they don't all have to look like you. Imagine it's like, yeah, everybody's wearing the same face like you or being like you. There's no richness in that. So there has to be richness in that. That's where you can draw strength from, and they can draw strength from as well. And never, ever underestimate the power of having the right inner circle around you. So to wrap up, your inner circle defines you. Diversity is strength. What roles they play in your life hugely matters. You must be willing to maintain the friendship, relationship, pour in as much as you want to get out of it. It's like a bank account. If you don't put anything in, you can't go to the bank and say, well, I have this bank account. This is my card. This is my checkbook. There would be nothing to withdraw. So to get anything out of it, you must be willing to put into it as well. Sometimes it would require you to audit and adjust. There is economic power in having an inner circle, and sometimes you may need to exit. And if you have to, do it gracefully. So, what are your thoughts? Do you have an inner circle? Did you ever have to exit one? Or how did you put your current inner circle together? Or maybe you don't have any because of past experience or hurts or whatever it is. How are you going to move into this new season? Now you know the power of having an inner circle. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear what has been your takeout. What is your own personal stories? So until next time, remember, inner circles define you. Don't be afraid to create one. Go get them. Take care. And that's all for this week. You've been listening to Dr. Tina Allton with the Now Talks, the weekly podcast for women in leadership, brought to you by Nations of Women. All that remains is for me to say have a fantastic week, stay safe, and reach out if you need any help now at nationsofwomen.com. Until next time, enjoy the pursuit of your potential, and remember, now is your time.